Today on the podcast, we're talking garage bands, dream concerts, and Sofar Sounds. This is the Kansas City Podcast. Welcome to the Kansas City Podcast. I'm Cole Limberg, your host with the most, end of the year almost. Many of you know me from my synchronized swimming routines, and if not, it's nice to meet you. Each week here on the Kansas City Podcast, we are joined by a one-of-a-kind KC native for a conversation on life in the city of fountains, and it is a beautiful this is going to air first week of December, but it's a beautiful end of the year November day.
Yes, it is.
And I am outside. I'm actually on the balcony at Thou Mayest with a special guest today. I just found out he's the youngest guest we have ever had on the show, but he's involved in, pardon my French, you're involved in a lot of shit. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, man.
He is the camp counselor for Sofar Sounds KC. He does stuff with Balcony TV and Mammoth Productions. Welcome to the podcast, Hank Wiedel. Hank, how are you, buddy?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Hank, I'm doing very well. It is very nice to have you on the show today. I appreciate you coming out here into the sunshine and having a talk with me today.
Yeah, man.
Here on the Kansas City Podcast. So I want to ask you. Let's start at the bare bones, the basics. I already mentioned it. You're 20.
Yeah, it's already been 20 years.
You're 20 years old, and you were involved in more stuff, I'd say, locally than anyone I've ever met, and I barely know you. I mean, maybe that's not true, but I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'm bearing the lead here. Let's wait and see. Okay, let's start with Sofar Sounds.
Cool.
I know a little bit about Sofar Sounds. I know a little bit about what it is. I know a little bit about what you do. Why don't you give me the basics on Sofar Sounds and tell people what Sofar Sounds KC is?
Sure. Yeah. So Sofar Sounds is intimate live concert experience, kind of done on an invite only, pay what you want, donate your money and your time kind of thing. We invite people to come to these shows where we don't reveal the lineup or the location.
Oh, so it's a mystery.
So it's all a mystery until the day of show. And then we, shoot a video, put it on our big YouTube page, and then, that's that.
Well, but
yeah.
So how do people, do they just go online and then it says, oh, the show's going to be at this date, but it doesn't tell the location, right?
It tells you the neighborhood that it's in, but it won't tell you exactly where it's at. And then you have to apply for a ticket, and then we'll go in and invite a certain amount of people based upon the capacity. And you kind of have to hope that you get invited to get a ticket.
And so, and if I'm not mistaken, the venue is always changing. So it could be in somebody's garage, or it could be in a cool old right?
Yeah, shit. We could put it in a closet if we wanted to.
Really? So, So what? How many? You guys are a year old now?
Yeah, we just celebrated our 1 year.
Okay.
Which is November. Okay. It's kind of crazy to think it's already been 16 shows.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the craziest venue so far?
Nice pun there. I would have to say in a yoga den.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. They had just finished up hot yoga, though, so it was still steamy and really fucking hot. And we crammed a lot of people into that space. So, yeah, we've had a few shows this year where heat's been a huge issue. Just humidity or air conditioning not working in one of the venues.
Okay, so you had a yoga den.
You had a yoga den.
What else?
We've done one in a men's tailored suit shop.
Okay.
Down in the River Market.
Which suit shop?
Houndstooth.
Okay, yeah, I bought my suit for my wedding there.
Really?
Cool guy.
I love that.
That
Jeff.
place is really cool. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah. That place is, so you did a show at Houndstooth.
Yeah.
So there's all the suits and everything sitting around, and then, you cram 50 people in there to watch a band?
We crammed, I want to say we did close to 80.
Okay.
In there, which was super crammed.
Wow.
And, but it was super cool. I mean, there was suits all over the wall. People were looking, touching everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Okay, so now what have all the have all the bands been local?
Primarily, yeah. We've had a few, when Boulevardia comes around, we'll get some of those artists while they're in town.
Yeah.
We had the Heydays.
Okay.
We've gotten Magic City Hippies, which is one of my personal favorites. So yeah, it's just a mixture, but mainly local.
And if I'm not mistaken, Sofar Sounds is not. This is like a worldwide thing, right?
Correct.
So you're like the Kansas City division.
Yes. I think Sofar Sounds globally is in like 300 cities, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
When's your next show?
Our next show is next Friday, December 8th.
December 8th. Okay, so how... you can't tell me anything about it. You already know what it is.
Yeah,
you already know who it is. So it's coming up this Friday because... so this Friday... How could people go online and apply for tickets? I'm I'm interested. I might think about applying or whatever. Wait, because you still have to pay though.
It's pay what you want, so you don't have to pay.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like the here you go, give us a penny and we'll be fine model.
Exactly. If you leave a nice note when you apply, you know, like, hey, you're cute, or I love this shit, you know, you're definitely getting an invitation. But if you pay, you know, your chances are definitely higher as well.
So you're like, so you get to look around and say, okay, here we go. We've got 100 applicants here. We got to fill 50 spots.
Right.
These people say they're going to pay nothing. They wrote a really nice note. So that's a maybe.
Yeah.
This guy said he paid $20. He's in.
Yep.
He's in. Okay.
Exactly.
So it's this Friday. So what do you do? How do I sign up?
Go to sofarsounds.com.
Sofarsounds.com. Okay.
If you know, since the government tracks everything, your computer probably knows your location already.
Right.
Kansas City will automatically pop up on your browser.
Technology.
Right. And then you go in there, you sign up. It'll ask you, you know, put your email address, and then click on December 8th, and you're good to go.
Okay.
And then I'll go in, and depending on how this interview goes, I'll try to invite you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'll have to see what's on my list of things to do that day. You know, I'm always busy. I'm a busy guy.
Yeah,
you know, I'm always running around like crazy.
Exactly. Love it.
So it's 1 year for Sofar Sounds.
Yes.
And how did you get involved with this? Because this is the part that I don't get. Because when I was 20, I was doing a lot of crazy things. I would have loved to have been involved in like local music and shows and things like that. Who did you pay to get this job? What did you do?
Well, you know, I've already sold my soul to the devil, so that option was out the window.
All right,
But I played in St. Louis with the local band, and we had played a Sofar in an Anheuser-Busch fire station, which was super dope.
Wow.
And I went home that night. We had exams the next morning, and so I went home and emailed the global email, you know, like info@, you'd never think they'd reply.
Yeah.
And they got back to me the next morning, had a phone call that was, you know, 5 minutes long, and then we were ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were a go-getter, my friend.
Yeah, you know, I had time on my hands.
Yeah. You're like playing in a band, doing stuff, you know. Okay, all right. So I got to find some more uses for my time, basically, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, you said that all the shows are recorded and put up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of like I don't want to say a big production, but there's a little bit of a production aspect to this too, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you want it to look nice and represent Kansas City, and so I mean, how much of your time are you spending on this right now? Like, are you like, is the next like several months already figured out, or are you going month to month here?
We've got venues lined up for the next 12 months.
For the next 12?
Yes.
Holy cow.
And then we're going to start working into 2019 sometime in the second half of 2018. But we have a team of like 9 or 10 people, and we just added 3 more. So everybody kind of like assumes their role, takes care of their responsibilities.
Yeah.
And that way, nobody's spending too much time on it. You know, it is a volunteer-based thing, but we want it to be the best. We want it to be great. You know, so everybody just kind of takes their responsibilities, does it in their own time, and they crush it. Everybody crushes it. So, you know, it's not me doing all the work. It's this team making it look so cool.
But I mean, you were the guy that was like, hey, I think this is a good idea. I want to start this in KC.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, I mean, you're kind of like the innovator.
Camp counselor of sorts.
Sorry, the camp counselor.
Yeah.
So what is your goal now? Are you like, do you oversee are you the big overseer basically and say, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this, and you go, like, are you a good delegator?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're 20 and you're delegating all these people.
Yeah, which is so weird.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
I mean, it's cool to tell people, and then when you're doing it, you're like, I wouldn't listen to me if I gave myself directions. I don't know why you listen to me.
Don't cut yourself short, man.
Hey, I'm only 5'11", but
yeah. So what's your role now?
My goal is to have multiple teams. I think have like a small team of 4 or 5 people and split it into 2. And then that way we're able to operate quicker with more shows.
Yeah.
We can do, 3 shows a month, move up to 4 shows a month. Because there's cities that have so far, like Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, that do 3 shows a night.
Wow.
And they're doing 90 shows a month or some.
That's insane.
Crazy. It's unnecessary but awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah.
How many bands are at each of these shows? Like 1 or 2?
We do 3.
3 bands at the show?
And each band is about 4 to 5 songs.
Okay.
So it's kind of, you come in and you get a taste of it, and then the hope is that the attendee will leave and go catch that artist again in the club setting. It's kind of bringing everything back to revitalize.
I'm so jealous right now. That's because like when I was in high school and stuff, I had a band, and like we always had a hard time finding shows.
It's the hardest thing to do.
It was like we could never find shows. We ended up playing at like the old Groundworks Coffee House in Leavenworth like 2 different times, and then like. Well, my hometown of Smithville.
Hey, love Smithville.
Yeah, there you go.
Shout out Duncan's Berry Farm.
Yeah, there you go. But so we would play shows, and then it was like, oh, maybe we can play somewhere else. And then it never happened. And now hearing that, like, there's more opportunities, and there's more, I think there's more people that are going around that actually, like, want to play shows, or they like are opening up to shows. Like people are saying, oh, I don't have to rent out a bar, I don't have to do like a concert space, like I could throw it in Houndstooth down there in the River Market. Like that's insane.
I was reading this article today because it gave Sofar Sounds a shout out, and I think it was in like IQ magazine or something, and it was talking about predictions for the 2018 music industry.
Okay.
And one of them was that there's going to be this huge rise in attention towards like DIY and more specially curated events,
right,
such as Sofar Sounds, or boiler room events, or communion music events, things with more central focus, I guess, as opposed to an average club play.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of cool. Everything's kind of transitioning into this thing that is more catered towards being personalized, as opposed to it's you going
intimate.
Out and doing the same goddamn thing every night.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
Intimate. It's it's a one of a kind thing. It's special because you got to basically apply to get in.
Yes.
You don't know where it is, so then that gives it the secrecy thing. You don't know who to expect, so that's the mystery. Like it's kind of like a all-in-one kind of like.
It all ties
I don't know
in.
What to expect.
Exactly, and there's a reason behind all of that. You don't give people the lineup or the location, so there's not like a preconceived notion
of what to expect.
Because a lot of these people go to club shows all the time.
Oh yeah.
So they know some of these artists.
I mean, if I go to the Uptown, I know what I'm getting at the Uptown.
Exactly.
If I know what band I'm paying for to go and see. If I'm going to the Midland, if I'm going even Sprint Center, somewhere else.
Exactly.
I know what to expect. They may have, based on the venue, they may have a more elaborate show, basically.
Right.
But if someone said to me, "Hey, be at this spot at 8:00 on Saturday night," you can pay $2 or whatever to get in, but it's still, you might not get in. I think, the first part would be like kind of leery.
Yeah. I thought people might find it creepy, and then everybody started applying, and I was like, oh, cool. People
get it. Yeah. That was my first thought. I was like, oh, this is kind of creepy. I signed up for something. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But now, oh, wow. Okay, cool. I can go and do this, and this is pretty damn sweet.
Yeah.
Very good. So you said so how many shows a month? So 1 to 2 a month?
1 to 2 a month right now.
Right now? And when do you think you'll be able to take that next step to get, 1 a week? How far out is that?
1 a week? I mean, I think we're there.
Really?
In terms of our application numbers, we reached a record for November, which was, for Kansas City, a personal record. Kansas City, which is tremendous. Like for each show, we average available of 300 applications. So like 150 people apply. They each get a +1 for free.
Wow.
So, and that's just per show. If we announced in advance all of that, I think we could do it now. But I don't think Kansas City, as a music market, is ready for that. And I don't think our team...
Well, and you want to keep it special.
Exactly.
Too.
And if it's happening every week, what's you know, in a town that's still, you know, trying to grow and get bigger, I think we need to move at the pace that this city is moving. You know, we can't
makes sense
get bigger than our own boots. You know what I mean?
What was the largest show you did so far with the amount of people?
Largest show we did, I think, was either this past 1 year anniversary one on Sunday.
And where was that at?
That was at Horticulture KC.
Okay.
Which is in the West Bottoms.
Yeah.
Super cool space.
Yeah.
Or it was at the Ink Live Lounge.
Okay.
At the Midland.
Yeah.
That was like 125, 150 people.
Okay.
That was a cool one. I mean, I know you're not supposed to pick favorites. Everything's supposed to be special.
You can pick favorites. It's cool.
But that's probably my favorite.
Why was
show.
that one your favorite?
It looked cool. You know, it was.
Who was the band?
We had Rachel Mallon and the Wild Type.
Okay.
Spencer Mackenzie Brown.
Yep.
And I believe Crystal Rose.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, there's Magic City Hippies was my favorite band to have perform. I love they're awesome dudes. I love their music, but you know, the space, you could oversee all the power and light. It was super cool. You know, it was one of those things where like I wanted it to be kind of a baller night. You know, where like people got dressed up, everything was fancy, and it panned out that way. I thought it was super cool.
That's pretty sweet. That's really sweet. Well, I'm excited to see how Sofar Sounds progresses, and I think that it's pretty damn awesome that you just kind of like sent an email and now you have it.
Yeah.
You know, like that's pretty badass.
Like, should it even be that easy?
Well, you know, sometimes you'd be surprised. Sometimes if you're not willing to like go and make the call or, you know, shoot the email, you'll never know.
Absolutely.
So at least, you know, you could have sent the email and they said, no, we're not interested this time or whatever like that.
Right.
But at least now you like you got a pretty good story out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, you can also use that to say to people, hey, look, just go out and try it. Go out and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
like
all it takes.
anything, especially in the music industry. If you want to do anything, just ask questions. You know, everybody loves to share answers here because you know, it's a bragging moment almost for some people.
Right. Oh, I booked them. I did this. I did that.
And it like, if you don't ask, you know, you'll never know. Like you said, you just gotta go for it.
So here's the funny part about you, because I've already mentioned your age a couple times. You are not legally allowed to drink at the majority of the shows you probably put on. How do you feel about that?
I think it's funny.
Okay.
Honestly,
well, because I think it's hilarious.
It cracks me up. Like, you know, because I often see, you know, parents of kids that I was friends with in grade school. On Sunday, this kid who was my best friend in the 5th grade, his dad shows up.
Really?
And he's the guy who curates TEDx KC.
Yeah.
And he walks in, and you want to be all impressive for him. He's, you know, I'm having a beer. I wasn't, you know, I'd never get drunk or anything. I just have a beer. And Boulevard provides free beer for the event, so we, you know, I indulge. And
don't get yourself in trouble, though.
Exactly. And I thought it was awesome. You know, I was like, we're having a good time, and how funny is it that this guy came in here and sees me, and I don't know. Yeah, it's funny, but just don't tell my mom.
I won't. I don't know. Does your mom listen to the show?
Oh, she listens to everything.
Oh,
I
yeah,
do.
of course
she's that mother.
You're gonna post this on like Facebook or whatever, and your mom's gonna go, what?
My grandma will be talking about it next Thanksgiving. I heard you on the Google.
You were on the Google. That's right. We are on Google.
Yeah.
You know, if you looked it up.
That's when you know you made it.
So. Okay, Sofar Sounds. We talked a little bit. We mentioned Mammoth, but I also want to talk to you about another thing that you're involved in, which is Balcony TV, which is another music project.
It's a newer one.
It's a what?
It's a newer one.
It's a newer one. Mm-hmm. Why don't you give me the breakdown on Balcony TV?
So Balcony TV, kind of same general premise of Sofar, which is like recorded session, but there's no audience. You know, we just show up to the location, and the whole point of it is just to have, you know, as our slogan says, music with a view. So our location is on top of the record bar right down the street.
Okay.
In the wedding venue right next to it called Terrace on Grand.
Yeah.
And they were, you know, awesome enough to give us that space one night of a month. So we go up there, Alex Ellis from The Record Machine and I, and Lindsay Peevler, who was the former videographer for Sofar when we started. We go up there and we do sessions, and
4 or 5 song sessions.
It's usually just 1 song sessions. We'll invite 3 artists up, and they'll do like a stripped back set we're gonna start doing full bands and everything, but it's just another cool.
But there's no
piece.
audience. It's basically like, hey, here's a band. It's recorded well. The video looks nice. You're on top of a big balcony or on top of a roof somewhere with a nice view.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's all one take, you know, so they just play the song one time through.
Yeah.
And that way it kind of gives it that like live feel.
And is that something that you also came up with it, or is Balcony TV all over the place?
Balcony TV is, again, all over the world.
Okay. Did you send an email about this one?
Yes. It was, again, I'm pretty sure it was probably the same week.
Okay.
And we had been working on getting this.
You were like, this is my week to send emails.
Once I discovered Gmail, dude, like, it was all over.
Your life changed. Yeah. I got a Gmail account, everybody.
I'm going to send everybody an email.
Wow.
And so, I hit him up, and he was like, sure, man, send us I don't know what you would call it, like a pre-launch shoot. So let me see the location, make sure that it doesn't look like shit.
Yeah.
And then we'll approve it. And that took a year.
Wow.
And we tried all these different locations. I thought they were all incredible. And then, you know, I think he was just giving us the runaround.
Really? So you go shoot at another location, like another on top of a building, you do all that, and then they turn around and say,
no, sorry, man.
That's not a good one.
The railing's a little too high in that one.
Oh,
I'm like,
geez.
oh, well, how about I just come over there and put my foot up your ass? I'm tired of this shit. I got so upset with the dude. And, but we're friends now. Steven's the man.
Okay.
And, yeah, so that launched, and then, I don't know, we're still in, like, the baby phases. We've got, like, 6 sessions shot right now. So, you know, that's 3 months worth of content. And then, right now.
It's all about the tent. It's all about
the tent, bro.
Yeah, man.
I love that. I'm going to start using that word.
Go ahead.
Tent.
Bill me later. So you got 3 months worth to release.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's getting colder out, so are you going to keep recording some more here soon, or are you going to let it run out for a while?
Yeah, we're just kind of going thoughtless on that one.
Okay.
we all decided, we're just going to buck up and go.
Buck up and go
They want it to look seasonal.
Okay.
So we did a few in the fall, but I feel like, you know, fall only lasts a couple months.
Yeah.
You know, the summer's going to roll around and people want jingle bells and snowflakes, so we're going to get that going.
So you're going to do a Christmas session?
Yeah, we're going to do a Christmas session.
Okay.
We did a Halloween session, took some props from my mom's basement.
There you go. Yeah, put up the old skeletons.
Yeah, there was a skeleton.
Okay.
Yes, and a pumpkin.
Okay. I mean, that's Halloween enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty. Once again, I think it's very cool that you're doing this.
Thank you, sir.
I also I'm kind of jealous. I'm a little jealous because I think I don't know. Like I feel like I would have loved to have been doing something like this, like maybe, you know, straight out of college or, you know, whatever. Instead, I went a lot of other different ways. But
you know, I would love to be a professional football player.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Look at me. I got cut being a kicker.
Well, you know what? That's okay. It's okay. You don't need to be a kicker. You're fine. You don't need to get involved in football now.
Yeah,
it's on the
decline,
a little late
right? For that, yeah.
Yeah. Very funny. All right. So, Hank, here's the deal. I want to know right now, if you had to book a band for either Balcony TV or Sofar Sounds, you get to book your top 3 lineup right now.
Okay.
We'll do this 2 times. The first one is I want bands that are living.
Okay.
Bands living. The second time I want bands, like, you could choose bands that are dead. Like, your ultimate lineup of bands.
If the members of the band are living but the band is not active, does that count?
Sure.
So you can do a
yeah, that's fine. Do what you want. Yeah.
Okay,
I want to hear your ultimate lineup for one of these events.
I'm going to pause and let anybody who's going to listen to this just take a wild guess as to what my first pick would be. I know everybody knows what it's going to be.
I already know as well.
Oasis.
I can't wait to hear it. Oasis?
I fucking love Oasis.
Love Oasis. Get the Gallagher brothers together again.
Gallagher brothers. I just, honestly, I want to meet Noel, and I want to be treated like shit by Liam. It's like a dream. It's like a weird fantasy.
I'll be honest with you. I do not want Liam or Noel near me.
Really?
I'm afraid I get punched out. You know, they think I look funny
absolutely.
or whatever.
Throw a guitar at you.
I'm like, don't look back in anger, bro. and they would just punch me in the face.
That was a quick one too.
Yeah. You know, I know my Oasis songs. Okay, so you got Oasis.
Okay.
Who you got next?
I got Paul McCartney.
Okay. Have you seen Paul McCartney yet?
I have.
See, I didn't get to go see him. I was kind of upset. And I feel bad because that was probably, when he was in town last, that was probably, hopefully he'll come through again, like his final farewell tour or whatever. But, I mean, that's one of those ones that, like...
He'll still be touring when he's in a casket. They're just gonna push
that's a good point. He's going to be a hologram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. He's going to be a hologram.
All right, so you got Champagne Supernova. Then you got Wings.
We got Wings.
And then what do you got?
And then I'd have to say, for my mom, Elton John.
Elton John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Then we'd follow that Yellow Brick Road, right, to all the Dead bands.
Okay.
Definitely the Beatles. I mean, that kind of counts.
You already got Paul.
Okay, so then I'll do a different one. Beatles are...
Right. Okay.
Are definitely in there.
Yeah.
Shit.
I know it's a tough one now. You think back in time to all the bands that you've listened to and stuff. It's not easy.
It's not.
I've stumped him, folks.
I gotta get this though. I know there's dead dudes that I love.
You know a dead dude that you love?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Shout out Uncle Steve. That's terrible. Definitely Jimi Hendrix for sure.
Yeah. Hendrix.
He kind of got me into rock and roll when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I guess it's maybe too soon, but AC/DC, they got one member that...
Yeah, they got Angus.
Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm's gone. Is Brian singing again? Is he back on the road,
think
or is
so.
Axl still singing with him?
I hope not.
I hope not
to
either.
God not.
It's not. So yeah, I mean, you get...
And Angus is pretty much gone. That dude has been gone.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he can still get up there and rock. It's funny that you mentioned that these bands, because I mean, I've seen AC/DC.
Really?
I've seen AC/DC twice.
That's badass.
And it is the loudest concert you will ever go to in your life. I haven't seen Paul McCartney, obviously. I'd love to see Oasis. I don't think they'll ever get back together.
They're saying they won't, but then they say they will.
Yeah,
and
it's a
then
good
they say
point.
They
It's
won't.
back and forth. If the money talks, then it's kind of like...
Have you heard the number that they want?
The what?
The number, the guarantee.
That they want to reunite?
Or Noel
Is it
said
like,
he wants.
50 million or something?
It's 20 million.
20 million?
What person in their right mind who plans on making money would give band $20 million?
I bet you, though,
show?
if they gave them 20 million, that would be one of the... even if they just did it in Europe, they would make that back... at least 4 times.
Oh, 4.
Over.
I mean, you think about net worth when they did 125,000 people per night for 2 nights.
Yeah.
2.1 million people signed up for tickets for that show that morning that they went on sale, which I think was the equivalent to like 1 of every 18 people in the UK at that time. It's the fastest selling show in Europe at the time.
It's insane.
They could definitely do that again.
Right. So obviously, then I agree with you. I think I'd like to see Oasis too.
Yeah, I would spend all my money. I would spend my grandma's money, my dad's money.
Now here's the next question: if Oasis coming into town and you get a chance to book them on a Sofar Sounds show, are you going to make it a venue that only holds 5, and it just be you and 4 of your friends?
Remember I mentioned the closet earlier?
Yeah.
It's going to be that one. So it's just me.
It's going to be just you.
Just me and a GoPro.
Okay. You know what? Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Hank, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Kansas City Podcast.
Awesome.
Can you believe it's December? It's blowing my mind. Cole here. We are nearing the end of the year, just a few more weeks before our end of the year wrap-up show. I want to thank everybody that's been continuing to support and share the podcast. There's no greater joy than hearing from folks that have listened for the first time and they've decided to stick around for maybe a second or a third time. It's also nice to see that people are continuing to listen and continuing to come back show after show after show. So thank you very much. We've got a few more guests to finish out the year, then end of the year show, and then we're kicking off 2018, just moving right along, like the Muppets, moving right along. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm talking about. All right, back to Hank and the show. Welcome back to the Kansas City Podcast. Cole Lemberg, I'm here with Hank Wiedel. Hank,
hello.
say hi. There you go. We are still out here enjoying the beautiful weather out here on the balcony of Thou Mayest, and we were talking about a lot of other things, but I'm very excited because during the break, and this is an exclusive right now, Hank said he's going to book my old high school band for a reunion show sometime in the future. That's right. If you listen to this podcast and you are a fan of old, horrible, late 90s, early 2000s punk, weird rock and roll music, the right side is getting back together.
I thought you were bringing up Oasis again.
No. The right side is going to get back together. There's a million people out there right now that just collectively shit their drawers because they cannot wait to hear those beautiful tunes.
I can hear all those clicks now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, man, I can't wait. I hope I can still scream the way I used to.
Is there even a venue big enough to host
I don't, probably not. And then he said... After that, he said, your band can play, but then I'm going to let you do your solo act, too, with the guitar. And so I got to call up some old buddies of mine from college. They're living in Lawrence and say, hey, guys, get the suitcases back out. We're going to be banging on some suitcases on some porches.
Please tell me that was actually a thing.
That was actually a true thing. Okay, quick story. So in college, when I was going to University of Kansas, I was going to KU. I lived in Hashinger, the Fine Arts Dorm. And once a week, I would go into the elevator of the dorm, and I would play music for 2 hours in the elevator, just like an acoustic guitar, right? And
elevator music?
Elevator
or
music.
Good music?
Yes, it was elevator music.
Elevator
we
music?
played. So I'd make up songs about people as they came in the elevator, all that type of stuff.
That's awesome.
And then what would happen is that eventually these two other guys that lived on the same floor as me, Zach and Taylor, who, are great dudes. Zach had a suitcase, and so he would grab his drumsticks and the suitcase and then just bang on the suitcase like drums. And then Taylor would sometimes have like an auto harp. He would have so we would play covers, and then we had a couple songs of our own.
Are auto harps like those things that you like?
No, it's like the big you hold it,
I know exactly.
Yeah. And,
just the most wide array.
Yeah. It was a very eclectic piece. But then we would play. We played a couple shows on porches. I think we played one or two on a porch, and there were people there playing along. We always played on the porch at the dorm, and then we played some open mic nights in the Kansas Union in Lawrence. And at that time, I don't know why they were doing this. They were awarding places. You could actually win open mic night, and you won $50 to Mass Street.
That's awesome.
So we won twice, and we tried to figure out what are we gonna do with, because it was on a gift card. So it was how do we give the do we go just get something to eat, or what do we cut the gift card 3? I don't remember what we did, but so I'm very Hank, I really appreciate you getting my bands
now that we went through
together.
That, I gotta get you guys.
Yeah, you got it. I'm telling you, there will not be a letdown in the audience, let me tell you.
Not a dry eye either.
Not a dry, because they're going to be crying from laughter. Who the hell? Hank, why the hell did you book these guys? What the hell are you thinking?
This is my last so far. I thought
I think there's a couple of songs that we could play that might actually sound pretty good, but some of that old stuff from have you ever okay, so you had a band in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're probably not at the age yet to where in a decade, go back and read the lyrics from the songs you wrote in high school, and you will be just completely you say to yourself, what was I thinking? Have you had that feeling yet?
I've had that feeling, especially when I was even younger than high school and tried to write music, and I go back and go through those old memo notebooks, and I'm laughing half the time because I can't read my own fucking handwriting. And then I look at the lyrics and I'm like,
what is
what
this?
even? Yeah.
What did I do here?
I'm speechless. Yeah. This is beautiful.
I remember this one song that we wrote, and the words were, it was, I called your house tonight. You picked up the phone. I had a feeling you weren't home alone. Just wait, it gets better. Maybe it was the moaning, or maybe it was the screaming that tipped it off. But all I know is you were getting off. You were getting off. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when are you guys available for this?
You're fucking around. That was a song that I wrote in high school.
Was it called Getting Off?
No, it's called Fucking Around.
Oh, Fucking Around. Okay.
And it says the F word in the song right around 40 some odd times, and we went and recorded it in a basement. We paid $100 to record it in this guy's basement studio, And my good friend John, who's the bass player of the band, his mom decided to show up. So
get down there fucking around and getting off.
So we're like 17. We're in this dude's like random basement. We paid $100 to record a song in. The song is called Fucking Around. And of course, I had to record that track like 5 times, you know. So it's like, you're fucking around. And John's mom is just sitting there. And and she's just kind of looking around and like, what the hell's going on?
Oh my god!
And then one time we played a show. Okay, one more music story. We played a show in Smithville, and it was a.
That's a good start to a story.
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea. So we played a show in Smithville, and for some reason we played a cover of "Killing in the Name of" by Rage Against the Machine.
That was my biggest mistake, was saying yes to play that cover.
And of course it's like downtown Smithville in the courtyard.
In the courtyard.
And we don't want to yell, you know, at the end of the song, it's fuck you, you don't do what you tell me. So we had another friend of ours bring up a sign on stage, and we wrote the word buck. And so instead of fuck, we said buck, and he would raise the sign that said buck. And of course, no one showed up to the show. So it was all of our parents in the audience, and then a couple other stragglers on the streets,
That's
you know?
awesome.
So like there were buck you will do what you tell me. Buck you will do what you tell me.
Sound like my best friends in high school.
Well, like I said, it was a simpler time back then.
That is awesome.
Hank, it's all this happy talk has got me excited. It's time for the Casey quiz. Are you ready?
Before that, do you have video of that of
I
your
don't think I have
Smithville
video of
debut?
that performance, but I have video somewhere of like 2 of our other performances that were at the Smithville Legion Hall.
I might want to check those out.
I can see if I can track
dig
them
up
down.
the old VHS.
You know what I'll do? I'll send you the link to the album.
Oh.
I think my friend.
Oh wait, you're online too.
Yeah, all of our music projects are online, my friend. Yeah.
I mean, I just figured, you know, coming out of Lawrence, everybody puts things on cassettes.
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of shit online.
Might have to go to Love Garden and dig through the crates for some of those oldies.
You're not gonna find it in the crates. We tried to sell the EP, like it was a 6-song EP. We tried to sell it for $5, and we like burned 20 copies. I think we sold 2.
Hey.
I sold more of my comedy record, my Cole Limburg Experience, because now we're getting down another path.
Dude.
It was like silly songs, and I sold 20 copies of that compared to the one of like our band.
Do you still have copies left? Maybe I can get one of those.
I can just forward you the links. I recorded it on a computer
Google.
microphone. Hey, you want to take the Casey quiz?
I guess I have to, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay, let's do it. Let's get it. Kind of want to talk more about your band.
No. We're done talking with the band. We'll say that for another time. And then if you do book me on a show, like then you.
I gotta have all original members.
Yeah. We'll work on that.
No hologram.
No holograms. All right, Hank. It's a Casey quiz. You know how this works. I'm going to ask you some questions. You will get points for these questions. Remember, 50 points max. If I ask you a question you don't like it, you can always say stupid question. And remember, folks, you can tweet us at Kansas City Pod if you have a question you would like to add it to the Casey quiz. Are you ready?
Yes.
I always start with this question. It's my favorite question on the whole quiz. Well, one of my favorites. I want your favorite restaurant that is not barbecue. What do you got?
Dude.
Oh, see, Hank just made like a total like, oh, not barbecue. Your favorite restaurant that is not barbecue. It's tough.
Oh crap! What's that one burger? Am I timed? Is this
no, you're
round?
not timed. But I mean, you got to remember, people are listening. You don't want them to tune out.
BRGR.
You like BRGR?
I love BR. Juicy Lucy. For days.
Yeah. Okay, BRGR. It's nice.
Yes.
The fries aren't bad. I like the BRGR fries.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
In
Okay.
fact, I would go so far to say as they're pretty good.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now it's the second part of this question. Favorite barbecue?
Joe's for sure.
Joe's. Okay.
Yeah. All you Arthur Bryant's fiends, get at me. I can't stand it.
You can't stand it. Oh,
actually,
it's a hot take on Arthur Bryant's.
I'm Joe's, Arthur Bryant's. Joe's is up here. Arthur starts here, and then Gates.
And then gigs.
All the way at the bottom.
All right, I'm going to give you 2 points for that question.
Thank you.
This one is very pertinent to you. It's your favorite place to see live music. I know you're very involved in the music scene, so you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here. So if you got to say more than one, it's okay.
Oh, no, I don't care about hurting people's feelings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then go for it. Hurt away.
Listen here, motherfucker. I'd have to say probably Providence Medical Center Amphitheater, which was Sandstone.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Why?
I mean, the venue itself is all right.
That was the first place I ever saw a concert.
Really?
When I was a kid. I saw the Moody Blues.
The Moody Blues.
Yeah, the Moody Blues.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I almost saw them in Chicago not
Really?
too long ago.
And then the last show I was at out there, I went and saw Modest Mouse out there.
Oh, you saw with Brand New, right? Or,
yeah. I left during Brand New.
Of course. Yeah, I saw. I've seen just some killer shows out there. Like, I'm not a huge, I love hip hop. I'm not like a first and foremost rap fan.
Right.
All of the best hip hop shows I've ever seen were out there. I love outdoor environments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I wouldn't think.
Or Starlight.
Starlight's
one
cool.
of the two.
I love
yeah.
Starlight. I've seen some good shows at both.
Yeah.
I've seen more probably. I mean, it's probably equal the amount of good shows I've seen at each one of those. Okay.
I saw Rush at Starlight, and that was probably the most badass show I've ever seen.
That would be pretty sweet. So okay, then we'll just move forward there. So what's the best concert you ever seen in KC?
Best concert?
Yeah.
Most definitely 21 Pilots.
Oh, come on.
Sorry, dude.
You a 21 Pilots fan?
I love 21 Pilots. Actually,
I just lost all respect.
You know what? Because I want my points back, I'm going to go with Kiss.
You know what? I think you just lost points.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man.
As soon as it left my mouth, I was like, shit, I lose.
You went from like, I don't even want to think about it. Man, 21 Pilots.
Oh, dude, I used to get kicked out of class in like second grade.
I'm so stressed out.
Oh, come on. You can't tell me it's not a banger.
I'm so stressed out. All right, here we go. I'm going to only reward you a point for that question because I'm just so... Ugh. All right, you got to pick one. Where are you going? Worlds of Fun, the Zoo, or Schlitterbahn?
Do I have the pass to get into Oceans of Fun too?
Yeah, Worlds of Fun, Oceans are all one park now. So yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have to get a separate ticket?
No, not anymore.
Oh, fuck, dude, I'm going back this year for sure.
Okay, so then...
Worlds of Fun.
Worlds of Fun, okay.
Schlitterbahn was cool, but doesn't touch Oceans of Fun.
You got a favorite ride at Worlds of Fun?
Patriot.
Patriot?
Actually, no, the new one.
Prowler?
Prowler.
Okay.
I love the Prowler.
Good. 5 points for that. Good job. You did good there. Your favorite place to hang out? You got a favorite place, local hangout?
Dalmace is definitely one of them.
Well, we're here now.
Yeah.
We're here at Dalmace now, hanging out.
Do I get a gift card for saying that?
You might. Well, I mean, I don't even think they know that I exist, so...
I don't even think I'm supposed to be here right now. It's a 21 and up on the way in.
I think you're all right. They don't need to know. Here we go. Your next one. This is a very important one. This one actually came through the Twitter.
Okay, now I'm nervous.
What's that?
Now I'm nervous.
Are boneless wings just chicken nuggets?
Absolutely. Thank you.
So yes.
Yes.
Okay, you get a point. Well done. Here's another one that came through for the
blew
Twitter.
my mind.
Yeah, here's another one that came through the Twitter. What is the greatest Halloween costume you've ever seen in person? I think this was a question that came around Halloween time. What's the greatest Halloween costume you've ever seen in person?
I've ever seen in person. I've seen some funny ones.
Yeah.
I've seen real tacky ones though. Honestly, I saw somebody somehow pull off the Hangover with the baby.
Okay. With an actual baby?
Like, obviously they didn't carry this person around the entire night, but like when they walked in, he was carrying his girlfriend who was supposed to be the baby. She had a hat on.
Yeah.
Straight up. He was like this big football player kid carrying this.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird.
Okay.
Yeah. I was also drunk, so.
That's a good.
Could have been an actual baby. I don't know.
We're supporting young people drinking on the show today. All right. Here's your next question. You got some friends coming in from out of town. What's the one thing you're going to tell them that they have to go do while they're here in Kansas City?
Leave.
Leave?
Just kidding.
What the hell?
No. I'm going to tell them they got to... Trying to think of, like, the cool, fun stuff that we do around here.
Well, that's the thing. Like I say this all the time. To me, this is like a multi-part question because there's like there's like the one thing that everybody needs to try, and everybody needs to do. Like, what's the one thing you should go do? But also at the same time, if you got friends coming in from town, like, what's the one thing they should go do? You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The thing you have to try is go to the Nelson, I guess.
Okay. You like the Nelson?
Yeah, something.
Looking at art?
Yeah, no. But, it is what it is.
So are you just saying random things?
Yeah,
so everybody,
that's what people told me I need to go do. Is go, so I just passed the word along.
Okay.
I would definitely say First Fridays.
Yeah.
That's a definitely. If you can, it's a lot of fun. And it's one of those events that, like, it's so organic. I think that's what makes it so special. Or right. Irish Fest. Honestly, Irish Fest is like my favorite event of the year for some weird reason.
Let's see here. Okay, well, so would you classify Irish Fest as your favorite local event?
No.
Okay, what's your favorite local event?
That's a tie between Boulevardia and Middle of the Map.
Okay.
Probably Boulevardia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the new location that they've got.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Another question that came in from Twitter. Can I have $5?
Absolutely. I got $5 on me.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. What's your thoughts on the streetcar? What do you think about the streetcar?
I love it.
Yeah?
I'm just upset that they haven't expanded it more.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
Where do you think it should go to next?
I think it needs to go further south.
Further south?
Yeah, like Waldo.
Okay.
Or at least get to Midtown.
Yeah?
I mean, I live in Waldo. That's why I said that. So,
okay.
Or I lived in Waldo. But at least get to Midtown. I think that would be nice, going from Uptown Theater to, like, Sprint.
All right, I'll give you 3 points for that question.
Yeah, how are my points looking like?
Yeah, you're looking really good, man. You're doing really well. Here we go. I can't ask you that question. I can't ask you that one. Oh, here we go. What are the things on top of Bartle Hall? What do you think those are?
Are you talking about those 4 things?
Yeah, what are they?
Those are Christmas ornaments.
Okay. Those are Christmas ornaments. I like that answer.
Yeah.
That's good. I never thought of it that way. Okay. Those are Christmas ornaments. Here we go. One more question for you. What's Kansas City missing? You get to travel a lot? You been on you got to go around a lot?
Yeah. Luckily, I sounds cheesy. I don't think we're missing anything.
Yeah?
I think Kansas City's got it all.
Nice.
Yeah. I really do. I mean, personally, I love Chicago because it's a mixture between New York and Kansas City. It's got that Midwest feel with the New York flow of things, But Kansas City's just like that nice middle ground of people being able to, like, recognize each other on the streets. You kind of know everybody. It's a small world, small city, big town.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, I'll give you 5 points for that. Here we go.
Thank you.
It is now time for what I like to call the Google Challenge.
Okay.
The Google Challenge. So here's what I've done. I went online to the Google machine, and I typed in a phrase. Okay, I started to type something, and you know how Google autofills, right? So you are going to have to complete the autofill.
It's going to be fun.
Okay, all right, so here we go. So I typed in, and this is right up your alley. Yes. This is right up your alley, because I typed in concerts are... What did Google autofill at the end of that? Concerts are... Now, we got to be strategic about this here. What do you think the people are Googling out there in Google land?
Concerts are shows.
Concerts are shows.
Are we just...
Is that what you would Google?
I just thought of the first adjective. That's an adjective, right?
Oh, okay. I'll give you the top 2.
Okay.
You were incorrect. You were incorrect.
I would have guessed that.
The first one is concerts are boring.
Oh, well, I can't say that.
Okay. The second one is concerts are too loud. What do you think of that?
There's some truth to that. It just depends on how much heat you can handle.
Well, I mean, people are. This is what they are saying online. This is what they are Googling. How do you feel about this?
Are we talking about people who watch the Super Bowl halftime show and that's it, or are we talking about individuals that actually go
it's
to
only
concerts?
The Super Bowl halftime show. I forgot that part of the equation.
Okay.
I limited the search and I said I want the searches of only people who watch.
You went to advanced search.
Yes.
Yeah. Only Super Bowl.
Only Super Bowl halftime show people.
Yeah. Then maybe it could get loud, but By the way, side note, I just watched that Michael Jackson performance from many years back.
From the Super Bowl?
It was,
where he stands for 40 seconds not
he's
looking?
Like up in the...
Yeah.
That was like the corniest looking.
It's really weird. Well, that's because, okay, so like he shows up in all the different spots across the stage, right? Or like across the stadium. Like he's at the light tower on one side, he's at the light tower on the other, and then he pops up in the middle, and then he stands there. And he just totally still, doesn't move. And I remember watching a documentary or something about that like all the people in the control room were going, come on, because the cue was to start the music was to put on his glasses. That was the cue to start the music.
Really?
Or take off his glasses, one of the two. And so he's standing there, it's take off his glasses, and they're like, come on. Take off your glasses. Take off your glasses. Take off your glasses.
Just,
and he wouldn't move. He wouldn't move. And then like he finally starts to like kind of go for it, and they're like, play the music.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that performance. There's a lot of people that like say that that's one of the greatest Super Bowl performances of all time.
And I can imagine that being the case back in the day. But now that we've got HD TV and more pixels.
Who do you want to play the Super Bowl? Is there any bands left? Do you think I'd play it?
Guess.
What's that?
Take a wild guess.
I'm Oasis.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you on that one. That one I don't think is gonna happen.
No, absolutely not.
No, they're gonna pick Britney Spears again before they do that, or
don't
Bruno
they have
Mars,
JT this year?
They got Justin Timberlake, right? Yeah. There's like no bands left that could play a Super Bowl.
Coldplay crushed it last time.
Yeah, it was fine.
People hate Coldplay.
People weren't like happy about it. That's why they bring out Beyonce again.
Really?
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, Coldplay. Well, we gotta make some people happier. We're gonna bring out Beyonce.
Beyonce peaked during her pregnancy, I think, low key. Let's just be honest. Because did you see her photo on Instagram? The one of her like looking all majestic and Mother Teresa.
Yeah, I think I saw it.
Yeah, that just reached like the #1 most liked Instagram photo of all time.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's Billboard headline news. I got a notification about that.
So that was the most of all time.
It's a slow day.
Man, what's wrong with the world?
It's a Wednesday.
I'm going to add up your points here on the KC quiz. Let's see how you did here. 5 carry the 1 divided by 2.
That was a pop quiz.
You got 38 points, Hank. 38 points. Congratulations. We'll put your name up there on the leaderboard on the website.
Yeah.
That is a thing that exists.
What's the who's got #1?
I don't remember, but I'm sure we can look at it on the leaderboard.
So let them know I'm coming.
Yeah. So 38 points. Way to go, man.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you for taking the KC quiz.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the KC quiz.
All right, welcome back to the Kansas City podcast. I'm here with Hank. Hank, we're nearing the end of our time today, but I do have one quick question for you because since you're so involved in music, right, and since you have all these connections now, you're setting up shows, you're booking for these different venues. Do you ever have you gotten into like any secret stuff? Have you gotten into like any crazy backstage? You call up a buddy and you're like, hey, can I go in and see this show? Or like, have you gotten to like go into to any cool stuff? Like, oh, I don't have a ticket, but I'm Hank Wiedel. I can just go right in. Like, is that happening yet? Because it probably will.
It's happened a couple of times. It happened to my parents, actually. Oddly enough, they were going to see, I know it's not him. I'm just going to take a guess. I think it was John Legend at Starlight.
Yeah.
And they went to the show, and I had arranged for tickets to be there for them, and they weren't. I guess it fell through the cracks. And they show up, and they said, we're the mom and dad of Hank from Mammoth, and I guess they just handed him tickets.
What?
And my dad calls me as it's happening. He's like, that was a cool scene. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? They didn't have your tickets ready to go when you got there? And like, I was just pissed that they weren't ready to go. Not that they had this.
They took care of them and they got them in, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's times when like your agents are in town or whatever, and they come in and they've got artists and they want you to come hang out or something. Like last time Trailer Park Boys were in town, the guy who was the promoter for that string of dates in the Midwest, Dan Steinberg, he reached out, and he has like his own thing going on, Promoter 101. It's pretty hilarious. You should check it out. he invited me to go out for drinks with the Trailer Park Boys. And I had gotten pretty stoned that night.
Oh, Jesus.
And was hanging out with some friends and did not, I watched Trailer Park Boys like... I watched Trailer Park Boys every day. Like, I loved that show. And Randy was still alive.
Yeah.
And I'm very disappointed that I didn't take that opportunity.
All right, so the answer to my question is yes. You're getting into some like secret private.
I just
stuff.
needed an excuse to tell that cool story.
That's good. That's good. We are nearing the end of our time today. This is your time to shine. It's your time to give out some plugs. Tell people once again about Sofar Sounds, where to apply, anything that they need to know about you, how to get in contact with you, and what you're working on. Go for it.
Yeah. So if you want to get involved with Sofar Sounds, you can go to sofarsounds.com/Kansas City. And all the info will take you to the sign-up page. Check out Mammoth's calendar online, mammothlive.com. Balcony TV sessions, more coming soon. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. And, yeah, keep supporting local...
Wait, here, hey. They just cranked the music here at Thou Mayest for no reason.
Yeah, Foles kind of interrupted us there.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Finish your plugs.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, go support local music and get out there.
Very nice. Remember, folks, you can find me at Cole Lindbergh on Twitter. Make sure to check out our website, theKansasCityPodcast.com. You can find us on Facebook and then Twitter and Instagram at Kansas City Pod. Our time has come to an end. Hank, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to play a show. I'm so excited to get the band back together. I'm stoked. You're shaking. Think how I feel. Yeah, I just shit my pants. So once again, folks, thank you for listening to the Kansas City Podcast. We're coming to the end of the year here. We've got a couple more interviews before our first ever annual year in review. We're going to do a year in review.
And do best of?
Like a best of year in review. So that's coming up very soon. I hope everyone had a nice holiday season, and I hope you gave on Giving Tuesday to imagine that. And thank you so much for listening to the show. Hank, thank you again for being on the show, sir.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, we'll see you next time, folks, here on the Kansas City Podcast. Bye.
Peace.